Okay, hello. Good afternoon, Berlin from Finland. So my name is Anna Juusela, and I will start the presentation so you can follow my presentation in Germany, and I will be looking my slides here in English so that I can keep up. I will share the screen just a second, and please let me know if you are able to see it. I will put on the slideshow, and
Yeah, that's fine.
I will also stop the video so it's easier for me to follow. So hopefully you are able to see the screen. So we are part of this Improve project that you have heard about. And I'm here to represent AinoAid. I'm the CEO and founder of We Encourage. It's a Finnish startup. And we have also Elli-Mari and Katja and Ulla in our team. And Elli-Mari and Katja are the subject matter experts. So they have been working with victims of domestic violence as therapists, and they have also been working in safety houses, and they have worked with perpetrators and victims and children. And just to kind of give you a little background for where we are coming. We are not the typical technical company that just tries to sell some technology, but we actually have, as already you understand from the statistics, we also have in our team people who have experienced by themselves violence in their relationships. So this is something that we truly are trying to make an impact on, and we have a lot of kind of like a want to solve the issue. So already the start for We Encourage journey and the service of AinoAid started in back 2020, and the whole story started when we were talking with violence professionals who were helping victims of abuse, and they were telling us that they lack resources of providing discussion support and long-term guidance and support for these people, because they didn't have enough resources to provide psychosocial support or therapy and so forth. So we started wondering that would this kind of service help? What if we utilize AI and build a chatbot that could provide help? And because we need to have the experience of those who have been there and survived, we needed to also find these people and talk with them. So what we did in the very beginning and the first year, we were looking for people who could share their stories and help us understand that if this type of tool would be built, would it be helpful, and what we would need to have in it. And because it was quite encouraged by the professionals that we talked with here in Finland, and also with those who had survived, we understood that, okay, we should give it a try. And we built our very first simple version of the bot and launched it in test use in 2021, and with that encouraging feedback, we were able to keep on, and we were also awarded as a digital service of the year. In 2020, we had a little spin-off in Tanzania, where we tested with the local professionals and with Maasai girls who had escaped forced marriage, with albino girls and former sex slaves, and a Finnish NGO, that what if we build this kind of tool in completely different country with different legislation and cultural background? Would it be scalable into outside of Finland, completely different areas. And what we found out with the discussions with these girls and the professionals and by our testing, that yes, the legislation and the support services and the journey towards services might differ, but what's quite universal is the need to understand the phenomena and the need to kind of like find resolution, and also the feelings are quite universal. When you are being abused, you feel unworthy and you are wondering and feeling ashamed. And also in 2020, when the Tanzania project ended, the Improve project started. And during this year, we have been able to first launch here in Finland the first new version of the chatbot and the AI service, and now we are launching it today in Germany, and then we are following in Austria, France, and Spain during this year as well. So in the Improve project, we are taking care of the work package 2, which is building this conversational AI tool prototype to support victims of domestic violence. So at the end of this project, we don't have a fully ready service, but it is still a work in progress. So this is something that we have to keep in mind, that this is not something that we can kind of like make ready so easily, because quite a lot of data is needed to improve continuously the service. So why are we building this tool? What is the reason? And during this Improve project, there has been interviews of professionals and also the survivors. And what we have found out to be quite common for all the countries, as well as our own background information that we have gathered prior to the project, is that there is a lot of need for information. So people want to understand the situation, they want to understand what's happening in their life. And just yesterday, we were talking with one potential partner here in Finland who is running a safety house for people affected by domestic violence. And we asked that what would be the number one issue, if you could pick one to be solved, how could we best help and support those people in the safety house? And she told us that it would be bringing them knowledge, so that they would get more information, that they could understand better the issues and the dynamics, and that has been also something that the survivors were requesting from us, that they want to know more about the issue. They want to understand and get wording so that it's easier for them then to decide, do I go and seek for help? So for many, it is the problem that they don't recognize their situation. They don't understand the mental violence, or what is sexual violence, what is economic violence. It is hard to them to understand the dynamics and so forth. So people want to educate themselves, and they crave for reliable, trustworthy information. So there are also quite common barriers that we have noticed that are pretty much also, at least here in Europe, and based on our understanding also we're in Tanzania, they're pretty similar barriers. And one of the main issues why people don't reach out for help is the shame. They are ashamed of themselves, of the situation, and they many times they also belittle their situation. They think that it's not that bad, and they kind of normalize the issue, because you are in a survival mode. You try to just cope with it. You try to get on from day to the next day and so forth. And then there's, as said earlier, the lack of knowledge. They don't necessarily understand the topic, the domestic violence in itself, or the available services, or it might be hard for them to admit that this might be domestic violence that I'm experiencing, that the person that should be loving and caring is actually violent towards me. So it's very hard for them to admit that. And unfortunately, we have also noticed that it's not always the professionals who ask about the violence or the domestic violence. It might be that they don't have the capabilities or training for that, or they don't recognize the issue. And for example, in Finland, we have the recent study where we have noticed that in healthcare, the people who are experiencing domestic violence, they use 80% more of the healthcare services, but only under 1% is recognized by the healthcare staff. And there is a big gap, and this is also costing a lot of money for our society, because according to the same study, the cost started dropping immediately after the victim was recognized. So if people are more knowledgeable, if they have the courage to tell and they have the wordings to tell, for example, when they're at the doctor, that this is what's happening in my life, where I can get help, and if they could recommend, for example, AinoAid or other resources where they can educate themselves more, they would already be in the beginning of the healing journey. So we also understand that people are different. There are different needs. Someone likes to read, someone likes to talk about the issue, someone wants to write about the issue. So also the ways of helping these people needs to vary. The AinoAid service in itself is basically a curated knowledge base, and the AI chatbot is integrated into the knowledge base. So it retrieves information from that knowledge base. So this is important because the information is there, it's available, people can Google it and browse through the internet, but it's not always reliable. It might be outdated or it might be misleading, and we want to ensure that the information that the bot provides is curated and created by humans and by violence professionals. So AinoAid service is actually a website, so you can just browse through it via the internet link. You can use it by mobile phone or on your computer, laptop, on your tablet. So there is no need to download anything. Also, it is a very easy way to keep updated, so it's continuously learning, and it's easy to access and find information because it's a basic website. And there is the ability to add country-specific information and in local languages, even though the chatbot in itself is multilingual. So if you don't speak the language of, for example, you don't speak German, you can still chat with the chatbot on your own language and get help, even though you wouldn't be able to read the knowledge base. And of course, in the browser like Chrome, you can use the translation services, so you can basically have it in English and then just use the plugin for the translation. So it's possible. We focus first on the domestic violence who experience it, and we want to start with this one because it's then easier for us to understand that what is missing, what kind of services might be lacking, what kind of information we need to help people better serve this. So when we get feedback from the users, and we understand what kind of information they're consuming from the website, we are able to also bring more knowledge available. And in the long run, we aim to also support the professionals by providing them user insights, what kind of information they're looking for, what kind of support they would want to have. And by that, we help the professionals to also improve their services effectiveness and the impact. then there is always the question that, okay, why AI? Is the technology really the thing that we need, and how can it actually support the users? And we want to emphasize that AI is just the tool. It is the tool for us to bring the important information from the knowledge base in a conversational manner. So basically, instead of people just be there and read through the knowledge base, they can also interact and have questions. They might have concerns. They might want to have insights. They might want to have a list of actions that they want to take. So the AI brings this website basically a kind of like a tool that you can interact with while you're consuming the information. So it's basically a tool for facilitating and accelerating access to information and support to those who are affected. And it could play also an important role at the very beginning when you are starting and wondering, is this violence? Is this mental violence? I heard the term gaslighting. What does it actually mean? I don't know if this is something that I'm experiencing. So you can ask those questions and ponder. And also, you can check the checklist, you can do the self-risk assessment on the website, and then you can get back to the chat. So it is also a tool for helping you to decide the next possible steps to take when you are interacting with it. So we have also received already some feedback how those who have tested and used our solution, how they felt that the AI can help them. And one thing that they really emphasized in their feedback was that they got quite comprehensive and detailed answers. Also, they were appreciating the empathy and the politeness. So one of the things with the AI is that it's never judgmental, it's never tired, so it doesn't have the human kind of like bias in itself, even though there is the AI bias that we're talking, but still it is something that it kind of like it performs never, no matter if it's the morning or night or evening or it's there for them. Also, they like the risk assessment tool that is available on the website, so that you can do on your own face the risk assessment and kind of ponder if this is something that I need to be concerned of. They also were quite liking the clear and useful instructions that were provided, and also there was quite extensive amount of information. So this is not only for the AI, but also for the knowledge base, so that if you don't know what to ask, you can just start browsing through the information from the knowledge base. And also there were these helpful checklists and tips, so that you know what to do next, what kind of article probably you should read next, and so forth. We have also listed some of the benefits that we think that are the kind of crucial ones for the victims, and then also for the professionals. So one of the key things that we noticed that people were lacking of was the knowledge about what is violence and what is not. So they can identify the violence and assess their situation. They can find the necessary support services, and of course, one of the very key issues is, what are my rights? So they can seek justice and try to understand that, okay, what can I do next? What kind of criminal processes there are? What if I take this matter to the court? What happens? And so forth. And also we have added some of the survivor stories that we have received from those who had survived, so people can also go and read those. And of course, it's available 24/7. For professionals who are not probably working with domestic violence victim services, but they are somehow via their other profession, they are confronting them, for example, healthcare, police, social sector, and so forth. It helps them to understand the phenomenon of domestic violence. It can help them in identifying the victim of violence and probably even assess the risk and where to find the tools and so forth. And then they can address the subject with the victim. And they can also provide support for the victim and provide them safety guidance. There is quite a lot of questions about the security of this, and this is crucial for us. And as a startup and as a company and as entrepreneurs, it's also even personally very in a spotlight for us. So we have to be very sure that this is secure. We are taking care of the privacy of the people. So we emphasize in very many places that people shouldn't share any of their contact details or the names or anything, because it's not necessary. We don't collect any information from those who are using the services. It's completely anonymous because we don't need that information, and it's very important for us. So there is no signing or no downloading and so forth. And we try to make it secure for the users. So there is, for example, the quick exit button on the website, so people can quickly leave the site. We provide guidelines for the users that how they can browse internet incognito, how they can clear the cookies and cache from the web browser and so forth. So it's very important for us that people feel secure on the website. And of course, there is the human oversight. So we don't automate all the processes. So for example, the content is always created currently by the people. So it's human made information. And that's how we can make it reliable, and that's how the interaction goes. We also utilize the Microsoft services, so we are compliant with all the EU regulations and so forth. So this is something that we want to emphasize, that it's not something that we are here building on our own, but we use the services that are secure. And when we were testing this tool, people gave us feedback on how they felt the services and how secure it felt, and they felt that it was feeling secure, and they were also quite much appreciating the fact that we had created the guidelines and we had taken the quick exit button and all of those into account when designing the site. So what happens after the Improve project ends? So currently we are here, of course, in Finland, creating this partner network. We are consistently looking for people who are together with us able to kind of build this ecosystem, because we understand that this is such a huge and wicked problem that we cannot do it alone. So we are offering a tool, a platform, a place where we can provide information. It's just a linkage that can guide people towards human services. So in no way we are trying to replace people, but we are trying to complement the available services. So what we are in need for is that we could find partners who would be willing to update the information that it's there in the knowledge base, and based on the user needs, we could add there more information. And also, if there is a need to add more languages, so for example, in Finland, the next step is to add Swedish language into the knowledge base. So this is something that we we are also inviting people to do so that we can provide more information in different languages, even though the bot is multilingual. And of course, there is always opportunities to further develop the AinoAid services. So, for example, the human interaction integration into the chatbot so that it can be connected with different service providers and so forth. And of course, the collaboration in the building the supportive ecosystem so that the like here in Peru we have a lot of different professionals working together in solving this issue, which provides quite a lot of insights from different fields. And here in Germany, now the launch has taken place. So the knowledge base has been adapted to the German context. So it's there for German-speaking people living in Germany. And there is 2 languages. So there is German and English currently. And with the chatbot, you can test using multiple languages. The service is available at AinoAid.fi, and if you have further questions for the German version of the tool, you can contact Katarina at DHPol. So please take that note. And I think these slides are probably shared with you, so you can get back to these later on. And so how you can actually test the tool, that's pretty simple. So you just go to AinoAid.fi, you choose the Germany as a country, and then you can choose either English or German as a language, and then browse through the information that's available in the knowledge base. You can chat with the bot and then provide the feedback via the feedback form at the website. So there is nothing complicated too much in there. So you can contact me, Anna Juusela, or Ulla Koivukoski if you have further questions or so. And this was it from my side. Thank you.